All right, welcome back, everybody. This is going to be the weekly recap for this last week, ending on January 21st, 2022, for our live chat room. Before we get into the stats, I want to remind you we do have a live morning show coming up here. Still working on all the logistics, but we should have this up here shortly. But I thought I'd share with you some of the markets we're going to be trading in the live show. Let me go ahead and let me show you that. Okay, starting off with the Forex, we're going to be looking at the Aussie US. We're going to be looking at the Euro US. We're going to be looking at the US Yen. And also, we're going to be tracking the Pound US. What we're going to do is we're going to be providing, as we see a setup, we're going to be calling out these setups. So you'll be able to track them in Forex. Also, we're going to be looking at, some commodities. Okay, so we're going to be tracking gold, we'll be tracking silver, we'll be tracking crude oil, most popular for those commodity traders that want to go ahead and follow these setups, because these setups do work across the board in pretty much anything you're going to be trading. We'll be looking at Bitcoin. I know we have a lot of Bitcoin traders, so we'll be watching Bitcoin, and we'll also be watching the dollar. All right, and finally, let's take a look and see what kind of, for our stock traders, what we're going to be looking at. Okay, so we'll be looking at the overall S&P. Be watching the ES, which is basically the E-mini S&P 500. We'll also be looking at the Russell. Going to be following the Russell. Going to be following the Dow Jones, and of course we'll be following Nasdaq. So we're going to be tracking the overall. I think this is a much better way of trading than trying to trade specific stocks. So we're going to be tracking a broad range of markets, so there's something for everybody. And also looking at least probably the first hour, maybe the first 2 hours, haven't decided that, but at least the first hour, first thing in the morning, right before the stock market opens up at 9:30 Eastern Time. Probably start around 9, and like I said, I haven't decided whether we're going to go for an hour or 2 hours, but we'll just have to kind of play that by ear. But the idea is to start a little bit before the market opens, because we do have some really nice setups right before the Dow opens at 9:30. So looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I will be sending out an announcement when we are going to have the exact start date. Okay, so let's take a look at our weekly stats for the live chat room. Okay, so here we are. The stats for the pattern for this last week. Of course, once again, these are naked setups, which means we're only looking at really that first dimension. We're not looking at the total of 4 dimensions, which we look at when we're actually placing a trade. But nonetheless, that first dimension alone does have some pretty high probabilities. And as I mentioned last week, I've been trading the Euro mainly and the US Yen, and I will continue that going into this new week. So watching mainly the US Yen and the Euro US. So anyway, you can see stats overall pretty much what we would expect. In the 70s, we had 80% going into the Euro US in the evening. But pretty much what I would expect, a little on the low side, which tells me that this coming week is probably going to be a good week. Once again, I've talked about how it's almost like these results have like a bell-shaped curve. So when we get away from the mean, we tend to come back to the mean. And so I would expect to see these percentages going up as we go into this next week. So expecting a really good week here. As far as the first trade of the day, I did miss Monday. I had other engagements, so I couldn't trade on Monday. So I did not have that first trade of the day, but I did every other day. And so had 5 trading days for night, 4 for the morning, and I was only right 50%, which is, man, I don't think I've seen that in a long time for the first trade of the day in the morning. Once again, it could be my selection too. Sometimes I'll have 2 first trades of the day, and it may be the Euro and the US both set up at the same time, and I may take the Euro, and where the Euro loses and the Yen wins. It's just, once again, there is no magic here. It's just whichever first trade you make first thing in the morning. Typically, that first hour is considered a first trade. So anytime during that time frame is usually going to be your first trade. But nonetheless, in the evening, hit at 100%. So, on average, certainly brings that up. So not a bad week overall as far as my results. I am now trading some core, trading a little bit of CB. Not really doing as much trading as I used to, only because I'm putting a lot more time into getting ready for the for the morning show, and I'm getting more involved with working with people offline, helping them with their trading. So I'm not able to do a lot of my own personal trading as much as I would like to. So I'm kind of in and out during the day, but Thursdays usually are good days for me because I can really focus on CB, which is mainly devoted to our CB traders. So it allows me to do a lot more focusing because my CB traders are a lot more experienced, and so they kind of know the ropes. So I don't have to do as much training, as much, doing educational. So it gives me a chance to focus a little bit more. So anyway, Thursday nights are always really good. But overall, not a bad week overall, considering. But I am really looking forward to the live show. I think there's going to be something for everybody. I will be looking at different patterns too during the live show. So it's not going to just be looking at PAP. I'm going to be calling out some of the other patterns that I see as setting up as well. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be some really good information out there for everybody. And also, you don't need to be a subscriber in order to watch that morning show. It is going to be available free for anybody on YouTube and probably Facebook as well. So look forward to that. I will let you all know when we get ready to actually go live, or I should have a date here shortly. So anyway, that's it. I wish everybody have a really good trading week. Once again, if you have any questions about my strategies, you can just go to binaryprostrategies.com, shoot me your emails. And as always, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know you like these videos. Please subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell so I can keep you updated on any new developments. All right. Everybody have a really nice week, and we will talk with you next week with our next weekly update.